Des Moines Metro now, Sears stores here in Iowa. Des Moines Metro Sears stores are going to close. Liquidation sales are set. And what were they talking about for Venezuela? They were talking about creeping in ever more invasive regulations coupled with government intervention in the markets. Well, here's one that we should talk about real quick before we end the show. It's going live in the chat thread now. It's called Obama Fiduciary Rule Will Crush Middle-Class Savers. If you don't know what a fiduciary is, they're basically people who are in the financial markets who are required to give financial advice and if they control investments, do investments that are in the best interest of their clients. So basically, they're not legally able to rake you over the coals and knowingly put your money into bad assets, things like that. They have to do what's in your best interest as a client. Which, it's sad that there has to be a legal requirement for that in order to be a fiduciary. But getting into the article here, comes from Americans for Tax Reform. Last month, the Obama Department of Labor released a final version of the fiduciary rule, a regulation spanning more than 1,000 pages, half of Obamacare, that will curtail the ability of financial advisors to give advice to IRA and 401k holders. Supporters of the rule claim it's necessary to ensure savers receive the best possible advice. However, the final product is so complex and burdensome that millions will inevitably be locked out from receiving the guidance they need. Through this regulation, the federal government is essentially moving to exert close control over the retirement savings decisions of Americans across the country. It's going to intervene here. We've talked about before, and it keeps on creeping up every so often, that the government is going to try, and has been trying, to creep its fingers in its control over retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, and nationalize them. So, further, what they're going to do, what I foresee happening is this: is they're going to create investment advice for people, make it so cumbersome and so hard, and so expensive to get it. It's going to throw the industry into chaos, and in order to justify, or enough chaos in order to justify the government swooping in, saying we're going to solve this problem, nationalization is the only thing we can do, and there's going to be enough of an issue that it's going to go through quickly, and it's going to get passed before. They're going to pass it so they can find out what's in it, just like they did Obamacare. And if that sounds ridiculous, hey, that's exactly what happened with Obamacare. And that wasn't even in a crisis scenario for healthcare. But they literally passed it before anybody read it or even knew what was going to happen because of it. In response to this encroachment, the U.S. House of Representatives recently passed a resolution under the Congressional Review Act to block the new rule, led by Congressman Representative Phil Rowe, Charles Boustany, and Rep. Ann Wagner. Now the resolution goes to the Senate, where it should be swiftly taken up for a vote. While President Obama has vowed to veto the resolution, it's imperative that Congress is put on the record opposing this crushing new regulation. Under the rule, expert investment advisors will have to prove they are acting in the best interest, quote, of their client. While this sounds reasonable, economists warn that the standard appears to be a quote, vague, open-ended obligation with seemingly no bounds. That's government MO, standard operating procedure. Word everything so vaguely so it's open to their interpretation so they can enforce it how they see fit and punish you with nothing you can do. As a result, the regulatory costs of complying with the new 1,000-page rule will be immense for businesses. While large investment firms will have the economies of scale, smaller advisors will struggle to comply. The impact of increased compliance costs will disproportionately fall on low and middle-income families who may lose their broker of choice or be priced out of the market entirely. In fact, it's estimated the rule will result in 7 million IRA holders being priced out of investment advice, between 300,000 and 400,000 fewer IRAs being opened every year as a result of the rule. All told, the regulation could mean more than $80 billion in lost savings. Not that you're really saving anything anymore anyways with interest rates. Rather than impose strict new regulations, Congress and Obama administration should work to implement reforms that protect the ability of Americans and families and savers to seek sound financial advice toward their retirement savings. No. Just the government. It doesn't have any responsibility being in ensuring that you get good investment advice. It's your own responsibility as an adult. Just get the government out of it. It's not in Article 1, Section 8. No. I'm going to end it there. But keep in mind, we got 80,000 pages of the Federal Register of laws on the books. It's estimated every day that you break approximately or commit approximately 17 felonies without even knowing it. And I didn't even get to talk about everything I wanted to today. I could have talked about the European Central Bank finding widespread trading on leaked insider information, the Obama administration giving tax breaks and tax dollars to illegal immigrants to build businesses in Mexico, the FBI and NSA requests for surveillance through the secret courts have never been denied. There's lots of other stuff I could have talked about, but I'm going to have to wrap it up for today. We'll keep our ear to the ground on Venezuela, Puerto Rico, the doctors walking out on strike in Europe, Sports Authority closing down 450 stores, all of its stores, and more. I mean, there's so much stuff to keep track of. If you guys find something specifically you want us to talk about, send it to us. Let us know. We appreciate everybody listening in, supporting us here at the Warfighter Up Network. If you want, I'm going to plug it. We have a Warfighter Up store now available online. You can go to warfighterup.net. Just click the store link. It's got a few shirts that are available, different shirts design. It's got our logo for Warfighter Up. It's got a pretty sweet design that of the VA is killing us. Check that out. That was custom design. It's pretty impactful, no less. The guy's got a grenade in his mouth, and the hand of the VA is pulling the pin on it, essentially. Check it out. If you want, go purchase one. It all goes here to support the station. It doesn't go to us personally. It just helps cover operating costs. It goes to a good cause. And so if you like what you're seeing here, go support us if you feel so inclined. We'd appreciate it. But I'm Gabe Lands. I'm your host. This is the Pitchfork. We do this every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern, and we wrap up the night broadcasting for the network. When we don't have shows going, we got great music streaming 24/7, so make us a staple of your daily routine. Tune in, listen to us, share us. Like our Facebook pages. We got a bunch of other shows that come on. Got Mother's Brothers Hour, On the Trigger, Reality Check, Warfighter Eye. Honey Badger just came back Wednesdays at 10 a.m. in the morning, I believe. Sorry if that's wrong, but check them out. We got a lot of other people who broadcast on here bringing you great content, and it's all from the Warfighter to the Warfighter. So keep it dialed in here on the Warfighter Up Radio Network. I'm going to catch you guys all next week. So until then, stay frosty, everybody.
Lost under the surface, don't know what you're expecting of me, put under the pressure of walking in your shoes.